Let's pivot to another course that you have local knowledge. TPC Scottsdale, home of the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
Yep.
I believe your first year playing our event was 2009. Can you
It
take us
was.
Can you take us through with that experience the first time?
I tell you what, I Mondayed in. I Monday qualified, which on the PGA Tour is very hard, let alone the waste management might be the hardest one to get in because everybody wants to play. So I played great, got through the Monday qualifier, and made, I think it was my first cut I've ever made, I think, that year on the PGA Tour. But anyway, um, it was a great week for me because Phoenix, like I said, it's obviously a great golf tournament, but it's an entertainment, a bigger entertainment value, I would say, than any tournament we play. So I have a lot of friends and family come out, and so it's always been a special week for me, being my first cut I made. And then in 2011, I got my first exemption on the PGA Tour, into the waste management in 2011. So, and played well that week. So it's kind of been a ritual where all my friends and family come out. I have a bunch of people out there, and like I said, hopefully when this COVID flips, hopefully we can flip it before the waste management, because I'd love to have my friends and family out there with me again.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about, as you're coming in the back nine and you start hitting 14, 15, and you hear the noise, of 16, 17, 18. What goes through your mind? How do you deal with that? And,
You try to block it out because you can hear the noise on 14, 15, but you can also hear the noise on number one. You can hear 16 from all over the golf course. So and it's funny, in 2009 when I played there, if you missed the green, you got booed. Now if you make par, they boo you because everybody's gambling on somebody. So somebody's booing you no matter what you do. Even if you make birdie, you're getting booed. But it's an exciting hole, but it's one you got to control your emotions. The golf ball, you're checking the wind more than anything on 14 and 15. Just trying to see where that wind's coming, because when you get in that stadium, it's a little hard to see, what's going on. So you got to trust what you're doing. Reminds me a lot of kind of number 12 at Augusta National, because there on 11, you're really trying to find that wind for that tee shot, because you get down in those trees, you can't feel it. It's a similar deal on 16 at TPC Scottsdale. You really want to find that wind on 14, 15, because when you get in there on 16, you got to trust what you're doing. They got those back pins that are brutal hard, especially when the greens get firmed up, long's dead. There's just a lot of holes, a lot of pin placements on that you don't want to miss in certain spots, and that's really one you don't want to chip on. You want to get in the middle of the green. Birdie's great. Take your par and get out of there, and go birdie 17.
take your booze on the middle of the green.
Correct.
Just raising the level, right? Walk me through, what's your strategy when you hit 17? What do you typically?
17, I think, is one of the best drivable holes, par fours, we have on the PGA Tour. Obviously, it's the only hole, I think. It's the only time somebody's made a double eagle, I believe, on a par four. It gives you that chance to make birdie, to make eagle, but also, you have an opportunity. You hit a bad shot and you get out of position, you can make a big number. And I think that's the risk reward is huge. I've always been one with my length to go for that green. And sometimes I'm not trying to knock it on as much as I'm trying to cover that bunker in the middle of the fairway and run it just short of the green, because just short you can get to about every pin. That back left pin might be one of the hardest pin placements on the PGA Tour. It's in back there in that little nook, runs off, runs through the water left, runs through the water over. It's just you want to miss your tee shot right, but not to that pin. So it's a great hole that makes you think, makes you hit a good shot. I birdied that hole when I won in 2018, which was a huge deal for me because I was one back at the time. So I knocked it just short right of the green, which to that front left pin is an ideal position to have a lot of green to work with, and was able to get it up and down. So I think it's one of the best drivable par fours we have on the PGA Tour. And one, after you make par on 16, you're definitely looking forward to making birdie on.
And as we mentioned, you're our champion from 2018, and so there you were on the 18th hole. What was going through your head as you're on the tee, looking at the water? What's your game plan on 18?
I was so juiced up. I just birdied 15. I just birdied 16, which was the first time I'd made birdie on 16 since 2011. So it'd been a long time since I birdied 16. And I go in and I birdie 17. So I had so much adrenaline going to 18. The water really wasn't in play. I was going to cover that. I was so pumped up, and I hit a bomb down there on 18 in regulation. I had a little flip lob wedge into the green, and ended up hitting a great shot and making par. Then Ches made birdie on, I think, 17. And he birdied 18, so we went to a playoff. And then I didn't have as much adrenaline, so that tee shot became a little more difficult because, like you said, the water's there. The bunkers, they did a great job with making it more difficult if you miss it left. Before that, you could just bomb it left, and you had an easy flip shot, wedge shot in there. So they've done a great job tightening that hole up, especially for me. I want to avoid the bunkers on the left. And unfortunately, I hit it in those bunkers in the playoff. I got a lucky break, got a good bounce in there, and was able to hit a wedge just short of the green. And unfortunately, par was good enough to win.
So you mentioned that Waste Management Phoenix Open is a popular spot for friends and family. What was it like winning and having everyone there, to celebrate with you?
Awesome. Like I said, that my family and friends don't get to come out to a lot of tournaments, and that's one they make it a kind of a ritual every year. We all meet there, and we all get to spend some time together. And then you throw in Super Bowl Sunday after the tournament. We were able to spend some time in Kansas. A lot of people avoid the winter, and they go out to Scottsdale. So we were able to go over to a friend of ours, George Brett's house, watch the Super Bowl with all our friends and family. I think my dad was more excited to spend time with George Brett than he was that I won the tournament that week. But it's just a great week. It's a great night. We look forward to spending time every year on Sunday. But to be able to share that with them, watch the Super Bowl at one of my heroes' house, George Brett, that evening was a great week.
That's awesome.